All right, here today we have a dude who I've been in touch with for quite a while now, probably a couple years at this point, eh, bud?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I think we've yeah, at least probably maybe 3 or 4 years, I think. But
Yeah,
just getting into ECHL, I'm kind of newer to it. Like you, I started last season watching, so it's kind of like my second year. And it's a great league, man. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
yeah. So this is for those who don't know, this is John from the Hockey Fight League. I'm sure a lot of listeners were in the Hockey Fight League back in the day, and some people might be listening like, "What the hell is that?" It was literally what it says, a hockey fight league where we would draft for enforcers, in a fantasy league or whatever. And we would have, rosters, and you'd have to do the matchups were at random, and the stages of every guy's career was different. So like, let's say if you had Bob Probert, he could still be beat if you had him in like the Bob Probert. Was it, what were the brackets that we said? We said rookie, prime,
Yeah,
and then veteran,
prime
right?
or veteran. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was. Yeah. And so if Probert's in the veteran stage, well, he's got the possibility to be beat. So, and it was all at random, but it was a lot of fun. But I can imagine, I don't know how you had the patience to run this shit, because just the draft alone when we would do it, because it was all via email. It sounds archaic, as if there's not a better way for all of us to do it, but it was because there was so many people in the league. It was the only way to do it. But man, I remember the draft would take like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh man, more than that. Yeah. No, it was a fun time. Shitload of work and stuff, but it was good, man. I met a lot of cool people doing it, and it was fun.
Oh, I can only imagine people who don't know what that is. They just look at us like you guys are a bunch of fucking losers.
Nerds, man.
Exactly. Like, oh my God. But today I figured it'd be a good discussion. Well, John was kind of the one who really, nudged me in the direction of the ECHL. And then once I moved down to Fort Myers during the season, or right before the season, excuse me, that's what really kind of made me really look into the Everblades and getting a season ticket. My wife and I. And so John has been an ECHL fan. He's, like you said, he's kind of newer to it, but he's been a fan, like two years now, at least, I think.
Yeah, it's been my second year watching it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Really pleasantly surprised.
And so you follow Allen for now, correct? Because of
Yes.
that's where you're a big Darian Skeo fan.
Big skill fan. So that's pretty much why I started watching ECHL last year. Last year was his first year pro. He originally signed with Indy. So before that, he was in Canadian college or Canadian university. So I was watching that for 2 years before that. That's where I first saw Nico too, actually. He was down in Concordia and he fought Skeo in the university there. And there's not much fighting there, but obviously Nico's going to find a fight, right?
They fought? Yeah. Oh, right on, man. Right on. Because you got to see Skeo play out in junior for the Giants out in Vancouver, correct?
Yeah, and actually before that, man, like believe it or not, I used to actually be a Leafs fan, and this was probably going back in like 2015 or something. And at the time, I was so into hockey, I couldn't get enough hockey, and they had just signed a defenseman as Andrew Nielsen, who's actually with the Utah Grizzlies now, and the scouting report on him, he was big, put up offense with fight and stuff. I'm like, so that's cool. And I'm like, I'll follow this guy. So I got like, you could buy like a season's pass kind of on the TV to watch he was with the Lethbridge Hurricanes. So I got the season's pass, watched the Hurricanes just for the hell of it. And that's where Skeo was in his rookie year. And I was like, who's this kid, man? This guy's fucking awesome, right? And ever since then, I've just kind of just followed wherever he's gone and watched his games. But
yeah, no, for sure, man. And Skeo's fights this year have been awesome, and we'll get to talking about him. We got the kind of the premise of the episode out here, folks, is just kind of go over some of the tough guys and shows, because I think the ECHL really might be the last league where these dudes who carved their way in coming up fighting, or I think it's really the last league. Now you might get the onesies and twosies. I just saw like last night, Boku Imama signed with, or not signed, but he played his first game with Arizona. That was really cool to see. Another tough dude who, was known to throw down, but you just don't see it as much these days. Like I said, Nico Blatchman was like a unicorn coming out of nowhere. And I mean, it was unreal to see a kid come out of junior today, as young as he is, fighting. So you just don't see it a lot. So you got a lot of chiseled veterans out in the ECHL who were kind of, I'd say more so masters of the craft as opposed to kind of newer guys coming in. But like I said, you got the Nico Blatchman coming in out of nowhere, which was awesome. And Jimmy Maz will bring up, but so we got a kind of a list of guys.
Travis Howe, he got in one AHL game, and he actually fought Mama. That was his fight in that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. I know Nuber played quite a few years in the AHL. I think he played 3 or 4 at least. And then he actually just this year, he was on loan. I think it was for the Admirals. Last year he was on loan to the Tucson Roadrunners of all teams. But he actually fought Kyle Marino of Idaho. But Marino's been up in the AHL quite a bit too. Yeah. He's been in the AHL more than the ECHL this year. I think he started off in the coast for quite a bit, but then he almost like never looked back once he went to the AHL this year.
Marino's tough, man, and he's a good player too. Like it doesn't surprise me he's been up in the AHL.
Yeah, I was just looking. I was like, I can't remember if I put him on the list because he went up to the AHL. So I was like, yeah. So we'll kind of just start off and just kind of bullshit about guys here. And this is a dude. Hopefully, I got him coming onto the podcast here in a little bit. I've been in talks with him a little bit, but there's no guarantees. But Anthony Collins, big Anthony Collins, who I had to do some research on a little bit beforehand, because I think it was who really got me to go down the Anthony Collins rabbit hole was actually Jay out and I when we were talking about top 10 toughest Quad City Mallards of all time. And he actually brought up Collins. I was like, man, I know Collins is in the coast. So started looking into it and I was like, yeah, dude, this dude is tough. Like he doesn't, what I described the other day, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, because I know I'm not sure you're on Twitter anymore. But basically like it was kind of like Pat Maroon almost fights to like not lose, if that makes sense. Oh, and I was like, Anthony Collins is the dude who just fights to win. Like he does not give a shit.
His uppercut is vicious, man, just vicious. And I think that's how he gets. You got a couple TKOs. I know. Was it Jared Brandt? Was that the first one he TKO'd? I think.
I think so. That was the one.
But it was the uppercut, right? Just a vicious uppercut.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll pull it up here as we have this little video interaction here. We'll share the screen. Got some. This was a good one he had versus Isaacson when he fought. I think that was in Norfolk, but I don't have the volume on. But like, let me see here. Like he comes in with a heater of a fucking left hand or right hand. Excuse me. Like God, that's just nuts. But like you got Collins doing that, and then the uppercut he had. I wish there was more volume on the other one. But the audio was messed up, so I couldn't do it. He had this really good one versus Parker too, and Parker's a big dude who's kind of coming in, but
Parker's huge, man. That guy's a huge dude.
He really
he's
is.
Like 6'9", I think, or something.
Yeah, he is. I believe he's 6'9", and Anthony Collins does pretty well against him here too. So it's like, holy, like for Anthony Collins to do that versus a dude who's 6'9", he's doing something right. And I know some people don't like it, but Anthony Collins is a dude he'll hype the crowd up and everything. Like, look at this uppercuts, like, brutal. But like he's a dude who he'll do the crowd hyping up, and I know some people don't like it, but I mean it's the East Coast League. It's minor pro hockey. You don't get any better than that, in my opinion, right?
For sure, man. I honestly think you could easily make a case that Anthony Collins might be the toughest guy in the league.
Oh yeah, without
he's that good.
Yeah, no, here it is. Here's the one first brand. Oh, this one's rough. But yeah, like just like the punching power he has, he might be the hardest puncher in the East Coast League, if you ask me. I mean, if we're just talking strictly punching power, and I mean his fighting abilities bar none too compared to most in the league, but like you saw what he did there with the uppercut. You saw what he did to Isaacson. You don't see guys getting dropped like that, but I think he's got the most TKOs this year at least, compared to everybody else. So it's hard not to say Anthony Collins might be the top dog in the league.
He got in, he just squeaked in. I saw he had 9 fights on the year. There's a few guys who finished at 9. The next one he gets suspended, right? So they have it down to like the math perfectly.
I think Nuber finished with 9 too.
I think he did. Yeah.
I think like 4 of those were Travis Howe, the Howe and Nuber saga.
That's got to be the best rivalry like in the ECHL. Howe Nuber for sure.
Oh, I love it. And here was a dude, and I know he battled injuries too. We'll move on to the next guy, and this dude has been doing it for years. Tough motherfucker was Garrett Klotz.
Yeah, Klotz missed like I think it was like 38 games this year, so he just got into 6 fights. Huge guy, man, 6'6", 250. Third round pick of the Flyers actually in the 2007 draft. But like you said, man, he's been around and he's fought everyone, dude. Like Westgarth, I know that fight wasn't great for him, but Frazier, McLaren, McGrattan, Barasti, PL3, Kip Brennan. Like this guy, his resume is like for an enforcer that's still around is nuts.
Oh yeah, man. And I'm trying to pull up some fight because my problem with when I search Garrett Klotz fights, there's so many of them. So I'm trying to like just go through the ones for this season, right? And I think
you got that video. You don't have that video anymore. Is that right?
no, the Crunk one, Taylor Crunk getting knocked out was removed on my YouTube channel, and I didn't want to risk getting another strike. So yeah, that one ceased to live on my YouTube channel because I don't know. Well, that's what's funny. I don't know what constitutes the like the algorithm or whatever to take my stuff down, because like how come that gets taken down, but you could go look at Westgarth getting KO'd by Luke Gazdick no problem on hockeyfights.com. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, so Klotz this year didn't get into today, Junior. Get into too many fights, but he's still he's got potential to be one of the top dogs in the league still for sure. I was just trying to look through, and yeah, you can see some. If you want to have a good time, go down the Garrett Klotz rabbit hole. Even his stuff over in the European League, the EIHL, that was some good stuff too.
Yeah, he had a good fight against Austin Crosley too. Gave it to him pretty good.
Yeah, that one. I was actually just looking at that one too. The next one, so I kind of combined both these guys because they both play for Atlanta, and if people listen, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The Thrower boys, Josh and Dalton Thrower out in Atlanta. Two tough dudes, and those were in my eyes kind of like the last of the guys coming up fighting from junior, aside from, like I said, the one-off Nico Blatchman that comes out of nowhere. Especially now with the Quebec League rules, there's no way you're gonna get a Nico Blatchman coming out of that league anymore. But the Thrower boys were kind of like the last of the dudes to come out swinging out of junior, because I want to say they were both dub boys. I could be wrong, but I believe they were both.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I got you. My WHL expert over here. But yeah, so I think out of the two, I got to give the nod to, I think Josh might be a little bit better of the fighter, but either way, it's almost like it reminds you of the ECHL Mario and Serge Roberts or something like that, you know?
Yeah. I think Dalton's probably the better player. Second round pick of Montreal. He's a lot less active fighting too. He had 3 fights this year, whereas Josh was tied for first with 11, I think, with Nico, right? Nico had 11?
Yes.
I think they're tied for first, so. But like, not huge guys, man. Like, I think they're both around 6'1", 200. Josh had that great TKO of Jake Kearley too, man, which is I remember that video you shared. I think Kearley sends a shot a bit late on goal, and
yeah.
Yeah,
we'll get to that one. I was fortunate enough to catch this too. Let me share the screen here. I don't know what made me do it, because normally, like, I don't know why. I just had a feeling something was going to go down in warm-ups a little bit, and sure as shit, there's Nuber and I think both the Thrower brothers actually. We'll look at the video here. I'm sure you'll probably be able to hear my drunk ass in the background, but he's talking with both of them, and something happens. I think Dalton put his stick out in Nuber's chest, and Nuber just swats it. So they're all about the pregame stuff. And then, like you said, he had that really good, Josh did, on that Kearley fight, and I
think they fought twice. The second one is when he really got Kearley.
Yeah, I got it labeled as the old TKO. And yeah, he put it on late, and I remember watching the game. I was like, oh boy. And I mean, he got mugged to begin with because he shot after the whistle, and it was that uppercut. That was a vicious uppercut.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching the game. I was like, oh, Kearley, you done fucked up, bud.
That's a tough team though, Atlanta. They added Jacob Graves, and I think that's the series to watch, man. Like versus Jacksonville, who's got like Howe, Friend, and McKinnon. Like that was a good show
go sometimes. Yeah. And then, like you said, Atlanta's got the Thrower boys. They got Graves. Turner will go. And there's one other guy. I'm trying to remember. Why can't I remember his name? He's not going to get like anything close to 10 fights, but when he agitated, he'll go. And I can't remember it. I might be thinking of Luke Nogard. But
he got Nogard's traded. I think he's in Iowa now.
I think you are right. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
got traded. That's right. But yeah, like you said, that's a fun series to watch. I know it got really chippy the first game, and then yesterday we got to see the fight between Graves and McKinnon. And so that's both teams are stacked with toughness. So I think that's a this series to watch. I agree.
That's a McKinnon versus Graves. That's a good matchup too. McKinnon, he did really well, eh?
Oh yeah, he did very well against.
I thought that was gonna be a closer fight than it was. And McKinnon's another guy. Like he's not a big guy, but man, he's tough as shit too. Like pretty awesome sidekick for Travis Howe.
Oh yeah, man, they got the good 1-2 punch, and it was so funny for me because I got to watch the progression of Florida, and they started out just like stacked. Like they had Kearley, Blatchman, Neuber, Russell Jordan was there for a bit too, and then it's just like they progressively just got less and less tough. And I'm not saying that to be like disrespectful, obviously, but it's like the guys who were there to throw down, it's like they got less and less. They let them all go, which I mean, they must have done something right there in the playoffs. So I mean, it's not like I could sit there and be like, "Oh, you guys are idiots." Like,
yeah. I hope Neuber gets into the lineup though. I think if you get past Greenville, then it's Jacksonville or Atlanta next, and you want a guy like Kyle Newburn for that series.
Yes, 100%. So the next guy is actually a dude who I had heard of, no pun intended, but it's Mitchell Hurd. So I had heard of him from actually Tommy down in Florida, who was kind of like I said, he took me under his wing and kind of showed me the ropes of the Everblades. And Mitchell Hurd was actually on the Everblades a couple years back, and everybody, from all accounts, like nothing but pure entertainment. Like he'll go in swing and he can score goals, and he'll just, he does the whole hands up, everything like that after fights. And out of nowhere, Toledo comes in and signs him. And so he was on Toledo, and that was a good 1-2 punch, which, the guy we'll talk about later is Cole Frazier, but that's a good 1-2 punch there in Toledo. But Mitchell Hurd, he did very well in most of his fights this year. I don't think he got in an overabundance of them. I want to say he probably got closer to like 5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, 4 fights.
4 fights, but he did very well in all of them.
Yeah, he had the TKO of Chase Ruddy.
Yep.
Fought Keegan Iverson, fought Chase Ruddy again. And then Kyle Marino, that was a good fight he had. But like you said, dude, he's a good player, man. He had 49 points in 49 games this year. Now I actually didn't know he's actually a second round pick too of Colorado. Like this guy can play hockey. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's good, man. And yeah, I forgot actually that this was his first fight for Toledo, I think, once he signed there, was this one versus Chase Ruddy. And I mean, just buckled him, just absolutely buckled him. So, and of course, you got in Mitchell Hurd fashion, doing the whole pumping up the crowd. I mean, how can you not love it, right? And I know Toledo actually has some shirts, I think, that say "Heard That," and they got like the silhouette of him doing that. I don't know. I always call it like moose antlers, is what it looks like to me. But and then he went with Chase Ruddy again, and this was a pretty good one, I think, if I remember right. But Ruddy did much better. No TKO here. But yeah, so Mitchell Hurd is just like just pure energy guy. I don't know how people can't like him. Lucky Toledo. I wish I got to see him in his prime. Well, I should say in his prime, but when he was out with the Florida Everblades, because I think I mean, seeing a guy like that, it reminds me of like the Nico Blatchman kind of type deal. Oh, and win and lose, you're pumping up the crowd, you're getting it going. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Oh, he's
not a big guy too. He's like a 6'0", 200. So, but he can go with anyone.
Yeah, he really can. I forgot he actually had this one versus Mourinho. I don't think this one was too great, but I could be wrong. But I mean, Kyle Marino, like I said, another tough dude. Which again, unfortunately, I left him off the list because he went with the AHL. That one was better than I remember.
Yeah, it's not a bad fight.
No, and again, I'd probably give the edge to Marino there, but in typical Mitchell Hurd fashion, still pumping the boys up. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So yeah, that's Toledo is spoiled, and I think it was after the Frazier fight, and we'll get to the video. And I know the dude who actually messaged me, sending me footage of one of them from like the stands, was the guy. He's the dude that throws the walleye on the ice after whatever, whether it's a goal or if it's a fight.
Awesome, man.
Peak minor pro hockey.
Yeah.
I love it. I remember when I saw that, and I think I sent it to you right away. I was like, they threw a fucking walleye on the ice. So I think that was for Cole Frazier. And Cole Frazier's a tough dude as well. And I believe he was drafted as well from...
He was 5th round pick of Detroit, 2017.
There it is. That's why, look at this. That's why I got John on. He's already got all the stats up. He does all the homework. He makes it easy for me. I just say a guy and John goes. This is tremendous.
Cole Frazier, man, to me, I don't know, for some reason, like he just seems like such a veteran to me, but he's only like 22 years old. He's a young guy.
I agree. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh man, this guy, he's got to be a little bit older, but he's really not. And I forgot, yeah, he actually fought Skio, and I'm trying to remember if that was a decent one or not.
Not bad. Yeah, Skio had already fought Ian Parker that game, which is probably a better fight out of the two.
Yes, that's right.
Cole Frazier, though, he had that TKO of Tommy Yapap, though, which was pretty awesome.
Yes, so we'll get to that here. I got that. Where is it at? Should be here. This was it. And I think this was when the walleye was thrown. This one's really quiet. We'll turn it up. But yeah, Frazier, and you look at his older stuff, like from junior, man, Frazier was solid. And he's another dude I'd like to actually get on the podcast. I've been reached out to by like whoever signed him. I think like his management company or like his agent on Twitter. And so I'd love to actually interview him. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition though. But
he's another real entertainer too, eh?
Oh yeah, same thing. Hyping the crowd up like that TKO buckles him. And I want to say this was the one where he threw the walleye on. But yeah, it gets off and just hyping the boys up. Let's go. You love to see it.
Yeah, I will say stat on Cole Frazier. Sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, go ahead, man.
Interesting stat on him is actually 7 of his fights, all 6 of them are at home ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I know some guys get criticized for that. Like they're way more willing on home ice than they are when they're on the road. But I don't know. It could be just coincidence, but it's interesting.
Yeah, and I will say this too about Toledo. There's a game or there's a arena I would love to go catch a game at. It seems like the fans there are just like absolute diehards, and I get like old Quad City Mallard vibes from them because like the fans of the old Mallards games went fucking hard, and this was a good one versus Piry. But one, I got to see this walleye thrown on the ice, whether it's a goal or a fight. That's something I need to witness before I die. And 2, I mean, it seems like their barn's always packed. It's just a packed house out there in Toledo all the time.
Yeah, Alan did a road trip. I don't see Toledo, I don't see their games that often, but they did a road trip down there, and I think they were pulling like 7,000, 8,000 fans each game, which is like most of the games in the Mountain Division I see are usually like 3,000, 4,000, like good numbers, man, and fucking awesome jerseys too. I love those jerseys.
The walleye with the tooth missing playing hockey. Yeah. Tremendous. I will say now the Everblades could have had it if they didn't do this damn gray jerseys. I still love
those, eh?
I
don't mind them.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't hate them. It's just the fact that the white ones were so beautiful with the gator teeth.
True.
To go from that to the gray ones, it's like, oh fuck. I think these are one season wonders though. So
yeah, at least they got the white. Yeah. You can't fuck with the teeth stripe, man. Like
no, you can't. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. And I'll give Orlando props too. Their sweaters are pretty sharp as well, even though they're purple. Purple and orange should not be colors that go together, but somehow Orlando makes it work.
I love the Solar Bears jersey. That's probably my favorite jersey in the whole league.
Really?
The Solar Bears, yeah.
Wow.
Who is it? Was it Searson? He's got a Solar Bears Mel Engelstad jersey, eh?
Yes, that motherfucker. And I tell you what, he got a fucking deal on that thing. Whoever sold it to him cut him a good deal. And I like those ones more. Those are the OG ones. Those were like black.
Those are better. Those are better for sure.
I like those. And I will say Idaho and Utah Utah with like the grizzly bear claw going through it or whatever. And then Utah with all the trees. Those are 2 tremendous jerseys as well.
Yeah.
I dig those. If you couldn't tell, folks, we're also Jersey nerds. So I apologize here. But yeah, and then there's a couple like I don't like Reddings at all. I think Reddings are terrible. But we'll move on here. Speaking of Everblades, though, we'll bring up my boy who I fanboy out to, according to folks on YouTube, old Kyle Neuber with the Florida Everblades. Neuber, I believe, hit 9 fights this year. And it was funny because there was a long gap where he was trying to get anybody and everybody to go, and nobody would drop him. And then finally, like towards the very end, I think he was able to get in 3 or 4 in pretty rapid succession for today's hockey. Like I think he was able to get probably like 4 fights in about 10, 15 games. So I mean that's you're kind of busy, especially in today's standards. But Nuber's a dude who's been around for years, and coming out of junior, he had a big rep in junior actually for the Ontario League. I know there was like even champ talks with Kyle Nuber in the OHL. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but from what I've read around a little bit from folks who followed it, I know you followed mostly the Western League, but I'm sure you could probably attest to the Ontario League more than I could.
Yeah, and I didn't see all his fights in junior, but one that really stands out, man, is versus Luke Gastick in the OHL.
Oh.
If you haven't seen that, that's a tremendous fight, man. But yeah, another he's drafted to Columbus Blue Jackets pick, I think. Yeah, fight resume. He's got another guy's got a great resume, man. He's fought Bordeleau, Justin Johnson, Tristan Grant, Matt Cassian, Anthony Peluso. Like he's an elite heavyweight, man. He goes with the best.
Oh yeah, man. And I was fortunate enough. I laugh because every time, well, no, not every time, but for whatever reason, the Everblades always like to fight at home when I was just pissed drunk. So I'd be always just hooting and hollering in the videos. I'll pull up some Nuber stuff. But here was my introduction to Everblades hockey. Was opening night. Kyle Nuber, Travis Howe, probably one of the best rivalries. This has got to be at 10:23. Yeah, we'll do the broadcast angle because we don't need to hear my drunk ass yelling in the background of this video.
I love your versions, man.
The best part for me was somebody said at one point, they were like, oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing over here, trying to hit Zoom. There we go. Somebody said like, oh man, the dude in the background gets me hyped up. I'm like, that was me, like 7 beers and 3 Jack and Cokes deep with like a fucking Patron. I was like, well, I'm glad somebody likes it, you know? And I'm trying to remember what fight that was for. Oh no, that was the night. It was when Perkovich fought, I think it was Isaacson off the draw, and then the very next face off, Blatchman and Nuber go at it.
Yeah.
Buddy, you want to talk about being bricked up for a game? That was one I was bricked up for. But this was my introduction, my first ever Kyle Nuber, Travis Howe fight I got to watch. And I was almost late getting the camera out. I'm sure the Everblades broadcast is nice and quiet like it normally is. Yeah, I don't even how quiet this is. I don't even think the announcer's going. But yeah, so I got to see this. This was the very first introduction to Kyle Nuber I had. And I mean, his fights with Travis Howe, they're just wars, man. And win or lose, they're both going every single time. And, you know, besides the one where the stripes got in there too early and I started bitching and moaning in the background of that video, aside from that one, like these are marathon fights. These aren't going for, this isn't 15-second jersey jabs. These dudes are throwing bombs. Like, I want to say this fight itself lasted like, I think 45 seconds. You got to love Travis Howe waving off the linesman and stuff too.
Travis Howe, I don't think I've ever seen a fight where he doesn't wave off the linesman.
No, he always tells him to fuck right off. Like the first thing that comes to mind is the fight with his Bonvie versus Vandenbush, and Vandenbush waves the linesman off, and the announcer's like, Vandenbush tells the linesman, get the heck out of my kitchen. But that was my introduction to Kyle Nuber, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like buckets are dropped. You know, like they're center ice. It's the main event fight, and this was tremendous. So I was very thrilled with that. And then we can obviously see here. This was one of my favorite fights of the year, and I know people don't like it. I know I've been ridiculed for defending Nuber on it, but this was games in the making with this fight with Alexi.
And Nuber hammering him with rights. Alexi has the helmet off. Nuber,
like he just pummels him there, and people don't realize the background. And I think, I love there was no good fight. Nuber over here just screams "fuck you" to him. No good fight, buddy. After that one, but that was games in the making with Alexi. He was trying to get Alexi to go a couple times, and then Alexi ended up going with not, I won't say lesser guy. I mean, I guess lesser guys, because nobody of Nuber caliber, obviously. But that was enforcement 101, man. If you're not going to go, I'm going to force your hand. And so I love it. That's that old school kind of mentality. And I know some people don't like it, but it's just, that's what an enforcer does. I hate to say it. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news. I know you think the same way. Is an enforcer's not there to be a nice guy and play patty cake. They're supposed to be an asshole. And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Nuber, he's he's such a good enforcer. And, and I there was a similar incident actually with Skio. It was games in the making, Lauren Ulette, and eventually Skio, he just jumped him and he's just ground and pounds him, like, and he got suspended for it and stuff, but like, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? Like, I think sometimes players think that they can say whatever they want, they're going to be protected. And honestly, it's like, it's good to see. I think of, comes to mind, Sean Allen, man, that guy had the full bubble on and stuff. Sean Allen, he like gets him on the ground, rips it off and punches him. Like, no one's safe, man. And that's how it should be.
Right. And people might be like, oh my God, you guys are fucking barbaric. But listen, there's a certain thing, like I said, it's been so misconstrued with the code and everything. People think like at the end of the day, it's a fight. It's a fist fight. It's been so glorified now to where, okay, well, I don't know, Alexi's not quite as tall as Newber. He doesn't have the same weight as him. I don't give a fuck. Like, why nobody said this about Ty Domi when he was fighting Probert. How much size did Probert have on Domi? And I'm not comparing the two of, being Domi and Probert, but size wise, we're talking here, but there's no such thing as checking IDs and weigh-ins for a hockey fight. This is how it goes. And again, I don't have anything wrong with what Alexi did. If you want to refuse to fight Newber and be an asshole, fuck, that's perfect. That's your role. That's what you're supposed to do. I have zero issue with it, but it's going to catch up to you, and it caught up to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and we'll talk about, I think, Mikhail Robidoux, and same thing. He's not we'll get to him, but he's not a legitimate heavyweight, but and he's been more of a pest and stuff. And they're good. They're good for the game, though. I think, right? They make the games interesting, and I'm glad they're around.
Absolutely. I've always man, and it was funny because my wife, of course, newer to ECHL hockey like myself. Oh, she hated Noah Corson from the Admirals, and I was like, I love Noah Corson because he's a fucking asshole and he's a pest. He won't drop the gloves all the time, but he's a pest. And I was like, it's great for the game. But
they make the game boil over, right?
Exactly. So, it's like that pressure valve where the pressure's building, and it's because of guys like that. And I was like, I fucking love this dude. I love Noah Corson, and she every time.
I understand her though. He's a little shit, eh?
Oh, he is. Oh, she'd be sitting there. She's like, "There's that fucking chorus." Oh man, yeah, exactly. And those are good games too. The Everblades and Admirals were really, really solid. Actually, Anthony Collins and Newber fought, and it was a better fight than I remember. I thought it was like just a grappling match. It kind of was, but it was better than I thought. Those are two dudes I don't think you want to take a bomb from, so they're probably fighting a bit smart there.
Yeah.
But the next dude on the list, and I thought of this off the top of my head when I was making this list. I was like, well, might as well put the two together. As we just mentioned him with the wars that he's had with Newber this year, but Travis Howe for Jacksonville. And I love Travis Howe.
Travis Howe is another guy, man. You could definitely make a case for him being the toughest in the league, without a doubt. How would you score the series between him and Newber?
So, me as a fight fan and someone who doesn't get blinded by fandom, I would honestly probably give the edge to Howe. Their first fight, I would say, was a tie. The second one I remember was definitely a edge to Howe. So I'd give him, he's up one. He's 1-0-1 on that aspect. The third one, I'm trying to remember the third one. I would still probably give that one to Howe, just very slightly, if I remember, if it's the fight I'm trying to think of. Fuck it, I'll just pull it up. We can, I'm sitting here. Oh yeah, let me try to remember it as if I don't have fucking. There's some asshole on Five for Fighting podcast that doesn't upload these every fucking year or every season for this. Let me see here. I think this is the one I'm thinking of, because this wasn't the one with the all-star game. This was their
to come back with.
Okay, here we go. Let me run it from the top here, and we'll be the judge here. And then the fourth one for sure definitely goes to Howe, because the linesman broke it up early, but he did get Newber down, so I would have to definitely give the nod to Howe there. Just scoring that fight strictly off of what we got, which it sucks because that was my last chance, and I knew they were going to go to. I just fucking knew it, and I was like, this is the main event, here we go. And the linesman broke it up, and I was like, I swear to God, they took like Kevin Collins 101 class right before the fucking game. So here we go. This was
ready to go.
Jacksonville's announcer is awesome, by the way.
No, it's center
I always love him. But yeah, this was the third one. This was round 3. And I think I'd still score it to Howe.
Howe gets the right hand, big right from Howe.
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, this was the one. Nuber, I think Nuber landed the better shots. Howe threw Nuber. I think Nuber actually landed the better shots in this one.
Another right from Howe.
So I would say Howe for the year versus Nuber is 2-1 and 1. I'd say one is the round 1 would probably be a tie.
Okay, yeah. I had I was going over all of Howe's fights last night, and I think I had him 3-0 and 1, but none of the wins are huge. They're just kind of slight edges.
Yep.
But if I go over all of Travis Howe's fights, I had him. If I have his record is 8-0 and 1. He had that. And he's fighting top guys too.
Oh yeah.
Cotton Nuber 4 times, but I think he had Ross Olson in there too. He had that TKO on Kevin Lohan recently, right? Is it TKO? I think his last fight. I think, but
yes. Let me see here versus Lohan. Yeah, he got both him and what's it called? And who's the other guy he fought? Olson. Yeah. There's another dude. I don't believe I put him on the list, but Olson, another tough dude.
Tough guy, yeah.
Which props to Lohan, good for him being the captain of the not Everblades, captain of the Solar Bears for even trying to drop the gloves with Howe.
Absolutely, man.
Oh, you see that real quick? You see him point to the linesman, says don't get in here. He said, stay the fuck
always.
You love it. Oh yeah. I mean, he catches him there. He actually he had 2 fights that game, and he did very solid in both of them. And like you said, I really think, in terms of top dogs in the league, Anthony Collins and Travis Howe got to be in contention for it.
Yeah.
So,
but
and I mean,
he's a guy who loves to fight, man. His first ECHL season, he had 22 fights in 50 games, man. For 2016, 2017, those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah, and this just shows the. It's hard to describe it for some folks who might not know what we're talking about. But almost how he's calm in a fight, if that makes sense. Once you do it so much, you get calm, and that's when the dude becomes scary. He literally just sat there. He sat here just waiting and let Olson throw all the punches, and as soon as he just saw the opportunity, just pounced on it and took Olson down like nothing. Which I mean, hey, props to Olson for dropping. He's just taking it, and then he just knows exactly when to strike. And the fight's over in 5 seconds. It's that's when you're a master at your craft at that point. That's the dude who knows what the fuck he's doing. And that's when a dude gets scary.
Yeah, Travis Howe's absolute beast, man. And I'm happy to see in the playoffs. Looks like he's getting a regular shift and stuff. I think he even scored a goal. I want to say he scored a goal last game too, or ECHL, you see kind of a few of the guys, they either get cut or they don't kind of get a shift in the playoffs and stuff. So I'm really rooting for Jacksonville, man, because I really like their team, and to see Travis Howe out there regularly is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Jacksonville and the Everblades rivalry I got to see. Yeah, fucking easy for me to say. I got to see was a very, very fun rivalry to watch. I would say the 2 best teams to watch play the Everblades. The Stingrays were fun, but man, besides Nico, they had fuck all for toughness. And Nico being a one-man band, it's hard to do it all at that point. But the 2 best teams I got to see them play, the Orlando's just kind of soft. But Norfolk, it was Norfolk and Jacksonville were the 2 best series. And Norfolk had Collins. It was actually, I will say this, it was really cool to see I believe his name's Darian Craighead play, as seeing John Craighead, who was a former guest on the show forever ago, but seeing his kid play, that was really cool. But yeah, I'd say those are the 2 best series. So Jacksonville really is a fun team to watch. And yeah. I'll tell you what, they look like they were really loving it last night. The barn out in Jacksonville looked packed, like to the brim for the playoffs. So good for them. I would love to see a Jacksonville versus Florida series.
Yes. Yeah. Next round. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the next guy who stirred up quite the controversy all over the league, taking it by storm as a rookie, had him on the podcast. And I was also one of my introductions to the Everblades was seeing him fight Chris Ordebody off the rip. But Nico Blatchman, who of course ended up with South Carolina, he's currently unsigned and we'll see where he goes next year. But Nico Blatchman coming out of nowhere. He led the league with 11 fights. I think he's tied with Josh Thrower. So there's the 2 fight leaders. Now, and John, you might know the rule because real quick we'll get sidetracked here, but when the fights come around in the playoffs, the fight rule is changed, correct? Like it's reset. I think you're allowed like 4 fights in the playoffs. I think.
I heard. I could be wrong, but I heard in the playoffs it's 2 fights.
Well, that's fine.
And you get a suspension. That's what I heard.
I remember reading it in the rule book because I remember before I actually started watching the league, I literally went through like line by line of like the fighting rules in the league just to see, excuse me, what's going on. But yeah, Nico Blatchman, man, he's kid came out of nowhere and just filled with piss and vinegar. Loves what he does, win, lose, he's hyping everybody up. And I know some people might be, oh, well, he might have lost more than he won, blah, blah, blah. And to me, the win-loss record is kind of, it's for, whatever. I don't give a fuck about win-loss record. I give a fuck if a guy shows up. Just for him to be a rookie and drop him with a seasoned guy like Travis Howe, take his lumps and just walk away from it. The balls on that kid is tremendous.
Yeah, if you're a hockey fight fan, I just don't understand how you cannot like a guy like Nico. It just makes no sense. He really reminds me kind of of Jeff Odgers in a way. Like he fights all the heavyweights. He's undersized, and when he fights the heavyweights too, he's not hanging on for dear life. He's trying to knock them out too. Like it's amazing, man. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're not getting jersey jabbed from Nico Blatchman, and we'll go through a couple of his fights here. And this is probably going to be the first guy I make a fight compilation for. I think I told you I was going to start doing that. This was great because he went with Kyle Rhodes, did very well, and then he ended up giving it a little bit to Noah Corson here.
Takes him down, Kyle Rhodes. Can't get
and I love how he popped Corson here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you got to be more self-aware as Noah Corson, like Nico Blatchman, who loves to fight. You're going to go up and just start talking shit to him. And he landed. It was a good uppercut too.
Yes.
I mean, you gotta love it, man. It's like, again, he's super undersized. This was his really good one. This was one. I think this is the fight, and I'm gonna ask him about it when I get him back on. But I think this one really gained his confidence here. Was fighting Stephen Leonard in Norfolk.
Yeah, and Leonard's a tough dude too. This is a good win for him.
Yeah, the Leonard bros are both tough. But I remember watching this one on Flow, and I was like, "Oh, let's fucking go!" I was like going ape shit in my living room. But he gets the left hand going. He just doesn't stop. Just doesn't stop.
Takes him down, Nico Blackman.
But perfect. I mean,
I also feel like Nico got better as a fighter as the year went on. I was going over his fights, and I feel like he won his last 4. Like I think about Leonard, Baldwin, Rhodes, and Russell Jordan. And you could probably give him you could probably give him the edge in all those, man. And I think he's getting better. He's still young too, right?
Oh yeah, dude. He was younger than me, and I'm a young strapping lad myself. No, I think he just turned 23 or 24. Maybe he turned 25. I don't know, but he's really young. But yeah, this one was really good versus Russell Jordan actually. And I'm a huge Russell Jordan fan too. Unfortunately, he's not with the Everblades, but he gets the left hand going again, and then he switches, and that's where he knows what he's doing. I don't know why they decided to go over there, but I mean, that was all Nico, that fight. So it's hard to say that it was he's not getting better as time goes on. And even his first fight with Orta Body, I think it's on here somewhere. We'll mute it because that's my drunk ass here. But he gets buckled here and just bounces right back up.
Yeah, that's what I love about him too. The fight's not over until it's until they rip him off.
Exactly. And I mean, he came back and did very, very well in this fight. And it was funny because I took my father-in-law to this game, and both of us were just ripping beers in the parking lot beforehand, and he was loving every second. But yeah, so he comes back, Orta Body is another dude. He doesn't drop him often, but when Orta Body does, he's pretty solid as well, actually.
Did Orta Body, did he I hadn't heard about him in the second half of the season. Did he get cut, or is he around?
He went to Worcester, and he just didn't fight as much, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
But I'm really curious to see where Nico Blachman goes next year, and hopefully I get him on again for the excuse me, the part two and kind of go over his rookie year of the show.
Yeah, he was your first interview with him. I really enjoyed, and he's got such a good attitude too. You know, like even if he's not playing, he's still 100% supporting the guys. Like, he's just a great teammate. It seems, man. Like a guy you want around.
Oh yeah, he's 100% a team guy, because beforehand, and that's why, and I understood this going into the interview. One, I didn't. His career it's not bad, but it's just short because he's just starting it out. So it was like, okay, well, we're going to talk about kind of expectations for the season or whatever. But he was very, very adamant on, like, you know, I'd love to do the interview, but we got to make sure it's like on schedule because I got stuff to do with the team. I said, yeah, absolutely. Like, we'll make sure. And he even asked, like, you know, hey, can we bump it up 30 minutes? I said, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, he's just absolute team guy. So how you don't want that in the locker room, I don't know. And I know the people out in South Carolina loved him. They loved him out there. So.
You know, and the thing is too is like, I get teams, you know, going into the playoffs. I know the ECHL, I think they have to, you know, they have their roster limits and stuff. I get sometimes, you know, decisions have to be made, but South Carolina, I'm sorry, but they were a shitty team. So to cut a guy like Nico, who's entertaining the fans, the games don't matter and stuff. They have no one else. Like Colby McCauley and Wardley, they didn't even want to play for that team. Like, yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So it is what it is, but hopefully we'll see where Nico Blatchman goes next year. I already told him too, whatever team he's on, if he's in the South Division again, if they have a series with Norfolk, my wife and I will be there. So we'll go take the trip out and go support Nico. Maybe I can go give a few, go motherfuck Coruscant a couple times just for shits and giggles. I still love Coruscant. But the next guy is actually, let me double check here just make sure. Yep. So the next guy is your boy, Darian Skio out in Allen.
You got 45 minutes. Just let me go.
Yeah, just go ahead. Let her rip, bud.
No, Skio's the man. And, you know, like I saw an interview with his coach, Steve Martinson, and, you know, he just says he fights to hurt people, you know, like, I think you were saying on social media the other day, but, you know, sometimes these new fighters, man, it's almost like they're not really into it. They're just throwing punches. And Darian tries to take your head off, man. And I've been watching him do it for years. Former heavyweight champ. I really believe that in the 2017-18 season. And just a great enforcer. And it was kind of like we were talking about with Newber. Like, you know, like if you don't fight him, he'll still find a way to get you. And like, you can look at his series with the Kansas City, man. He took 3 different times he got suspended against that team, man. And that team, because, you know, they got a lot of guys, a lot of chirping, a lot of guys running around and stuff. And, yeah, just a good player too, man. Yeah, Darius the man.
Well, and people don't understand too, the enforcers that are willing to take a suspension to get their fucking point across. That's the best enforcer. And I know people might not like it because like, oh, you're putting the team down as suspended and blah, blah, blah. But when that guy's on the ice, the other team's thinking like, well, fuck, this guy didn't give a shit about taking a suspension 3 times versus us, you know, earlier in the year. Like, don't get Skio going. Don't do anything to get him going and make him, you know, start acting up. So it plays an intimidation factor. It's been so refreshing to see it still in the ECHL this year, at least as me being a first-time fan, you know. But it's like I love Skio, man. He had a great fight versus Sean Allen. We'll pull up here. That was, that was contender for me for ECHL fight of the year. Was this one? It happened in Wichita. I couldn't remember if it happened in Allen or Wichita.
21 from 11.
But
usually happens.
This was a really good, and Sean Allen is no slouch either. Sean Allen is really, really tough.
See Sean Allen and Gary and Skio.
But now Skio, how tall is he? He's like 6'5", right?
Skio, yeah, you see different things. I think he's really probably 6'4", about 220 pounds.
Oh, fuck, that's still a big boy though, man.
Yeah,
that is still a big boy. And like the earlier fight we saw with, I think we saw it with Parker. I mean, for a guy to give up that much size on Parker and still do very well is tremendous. And the way Skio just kind of switches hands, and you know, you can tell he knows what he's doing. And
yeah, he's like Collins too. He loves to mix in those uppercuts too. And yeah, good fighter, man. Really good fighter. I have him as an elite guy up there with Collins and Howe. And problem with the ECHL is, you know, you kind of just play the same teams in your division. So a lot of matchups we don't get to see. But
and here's the one versus Ian Parker. It was Collins versus Parker we saw earlier. And Parker's a dude. Well, I'll pause it real quick. Parker almost it's like I don't think people understand. I shouldn't say they don't understand, but there's a big aura around taller fighters. Like Parker's 6'9", and from what I've heard with interviewing guys who are that tall and everything, it's almost harder to punch down as opposed to punching up at somebody, if that makes sense. And so these guys, and Ian Parker's coming out. I don't think he fought too much in junior, but like he's coming out and this is his first go round at it, and you're taking on a guy like Skio, like it's rough. So hold on and hope for the best. But this was a great fight, and this was Skio's second of the night, or it was either his first or I know he had 2 fights this game. I think
he fought this and then fought Cole Frazier after. Yeah,
I think Frazier was the second fight because he looked gassed in that one. This one,
yeah.
Oh, Skio did great. He did phenomenal. I wonder if Jeremy Yablonski taught him anything, because I know
they did bring Yablonski in to teach him. I'm sure he went over things. I gotta ask Darren that, but yeah, with him and Dawson Butt, I'm sure they went over some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, man, it sucks that Idaho hyped up Jeremy Yablonski like it was the second coming of Christ, and then he never played a shift.
Yeah,
he never played a shift, which I mean, good for them, I guess, marketing it. But
it was almost similar to the Sean Avery, except I got way more excited for Yablonski than Sean Avery. But
100%. Oh, well, I got more excited once I heard Barnaby might be in the mix with Sean Avery. That's when I got really excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I wish they would have just played. Elliot, for the love of God, just give the man a shift. Just give Yabo a shift. I would have loved
He's sitting on the bench anyway, man.
Just go out there, give him a shift. Go out there, let him be like a Garrett Hunt Super Bowl and just go run guys for a quick second. Who were they playing? Was it Allen, right?
It was Allen. Skio was out with an injury at the time. So there was, I mean, he could have fought Dawson Butt, but I love Dawson Butt, but that's not a good matchup.
No, I'd be really curious to see how Skio would do against a seasoned Yabo. And that's the thing, that dude is still jacked to the fucking gills. Even
dude. Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. So the next guy, let me pull up my phone here, I believe is, as we just mentioned him, Dawson Butt. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe it's not. We'll get to him. We'll just do him now because I just completely went out of order, but I'll just X that off the list. We'll talk about Dawson Butt now, but you get to see him because you watch all the Allen games.
Yeah, and I actually saw a lot of him in the WHL too. Another WHL guy. He was with the Everett Silvertips, and he actually. I remember in his last year, he got a 12-game suspension. He actually broke a guy's jaw in a scrum. So he kind of he'll snap too. And he was I heard he was like 20 pounds heavier when he was in junior. So in junior, he was really kind of like a heavyweight, and he's really leaned down. And I mean, I'm sure that has to have an impact as a fighter. I think losing 20 pounds.
Yeah, I would assume so.
He's almost more middleweight now, like it's 6'1", 200. But man, a great second guy to have on the team that's to Skio. I really enjoy watching Dawson play. And I also noticed, man, he's a really good defensive fighter. Like if you watch his fights with Sean Allen and Garrett Clark, man, he kind of keeps like blocking a lot of punches, and it's actually really cool to see.
Yeah, and I know his dad was actually really tough back in the day. I can't remember what league.
Jamie, I think.
Yeah, his dad. I gotta look it up because it's gonna bother me. But he might have even played in like the old Western Pro League. It might have been the old Whipple. Let me see here.
This could totally be wrong, but I thought I saw a video of him fighting Jerome McGinley too back in the day.
Well, that definitely could have happened. Okay, so it was the West Coastal Hockey League is what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah.
But no, he played in the dub with the Tacoma Rockets and then the Kelowna Rockets once they moved to Kelowna.
Yeah.
Back in the dub. And that would have been prime for Iginla because Iginla was with Kamloops at the time. So he very well could have fought Iginla. I wouldn't put it past him because, I mean, 64 games, 214 PIMs. I mean, fuck solid. So, we wonder where Dawson learned the trick to the trade from.
Yeah.
So let me see here. I got some Dawson Butt fights pulled up. Here's the one versus Garrett Clark you mentioned. Here we go. That's the lovely fucking magic of Zoom here. There we go. But yeah, I forgot Garrett Clark was with Kansas City. So yeah, it was like they were about to go off, and then they just drop him at center ice. Allen rocking like the old Miracle on Ice jerseys.
Yeah.
Dawson, but sizing each other up.
But yeah. So how many fights did Dawson have for the year? He had quite a bit.
He was at 7.
7. Okay, that's what it sounds right. And he's like you said, there he is doing that dodge though. That always reminds me of Rick Rippon, because Rick Rippon was the first guy I ever really saw do that boxer style punch dodge.
You see that arm comes up, eh? Also to kind of like block it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he got him there, so it's really cool to see that. And like I said, you don't see that a lot in hockey fights, because I think it takes a second to master that, because with hockey fights, it's different. You can kind of come around and do it instead of, going straight down the pipe to counter it. But like Rick Rippon did it, and who else? Wayne Simmons did
Dodie
it.
Wood, I think, used to do it.
Dodie Wood, yeah. Fucking Dodie Wood. Tremendous. But yeah, like you said, that's a great 1-2 combo out in Allen. Is Dawson and Darian.
He did get cut before the playoffs, but
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see where maybe he'll end up in Florida next year and I get to watch him. So the next guy is actually, we watched the video of his fight with Skio, but Sean Allen, another tough dude who I believe he actually just got cut for the playoffs too, I think.
I don't think so. I think he was with Wichita, and I think he got traded to Cincinnati.
That's right. That's what happened.
Yeah. And I think I saw him playing last night. Good old school stay-at-home defenseman, man. I really like Sean Allen. Not a huge guy. I think he's comes in at 6'3", 200, 7 fights on the year. But yeah, I fought Skio and Dawson, but I love the video of him ripping the guy's mask off, because the commentators are just losing their mind.
Oh, dude, they are losing.
Like we just witnessed a murder happen. Like,
oh yeah, you'd swear he's just killing them. Well, here I'll do this is a good fight, like you said, the one with Dawson Butt here. Drop the lids at center ice and have a go. And you can see Dawson doing the whole elbow block, but Sean Allen, I think he actually follows the account on Instagram, but yeah, I'm a huge Sean Allen fan, dude. He's a tough dude. Like, he's no slouch at all.
He went to a couple of St. Louis Blues rookie camps too.
Oh, did he really?
I think so, yeah.
Well, you see both of them doing it too. It's just hilarious.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like an ultimate technician fight here. I love it.
Trying to get that left arm up to block Allen, who throws a heavy right hand. Dawson comes back with a right uppercut by Sean Allen.
I probably lean Sean Allen in this decision, but I think Dawson actually did really well.
Close. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was close. It wasn't like it was like, oh yeah, Allen killed him.
Yeah,
it was close for sure. Here's the murder here.
I love this.
Now he goes again. He grabs him, tries to pull the helmet off.
I forget what happened to lead up to this, but I think Domowski actually took a shot at Allen behind the play.
He did.
Yeah.
They're entangled with each other now.
He's fighting the guy with the bubble on. He rips it off and says, "Let's fucking wait for it." Just feeds.
Away. Now he's punching a guy with a bubble onto the ice.
He's punching his head when he's being covered by linesmen. That is about as cheap as I have ever seen.
Oh my God.
And he's still trying to hit him. Bruce Ramsey, get control of your players. This is on you.
Pause. We're asking Bruce Ramsey. Bruce fucking Ramsey to control the players. Yeah, okay. Do you know who Bruce Ramsey is?
Amazing.
At this point, you might want to go after the coach as well, because I don't think there's going to be enough players for the Thunder to play their next game at this rate. He's still trying to get after Domowski.
You know what's funny? Because it was the Idaho player that knocked out Crunk, correct?
Keller. Yes.
Yeah, you didn't hear the announcer going, saying everything all like this when he KO'd Crunk. He was going apeshit.
I guess Crunk didn't have a bubble though.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Referee might.
Yeah, you gotta love it. So Sean Allen's going at it. That's great. Oh man, yeah. get down to there. So the next dude is actually Jimmy Mazza, and here's a dude who I didn't know too much about, and I really started looking into him more actually after I interviewed Jack Gregg for the second time. And Jimmy's another tough dude. I mean, I give this dude all the props in the world because he fought PL3.
Yes, yeah,
ridiculous. And I see this one was a TKO. I'm trying to look. Oh, I love the old Flow Sports fucking Little Caesars pizza. Ad that goes on. Like when that goes on during a fight, I get so fucking mad. And of course, it's happening during this one. So like, I'm not even gonna fucking share the screen for this fight because I'm looking at it. But we got Little Caesars Batman calzone going on. But yeah, Jimmy Mazza got TKO'd a little bit there, and he's a dude who
was that the Sidlowski fight?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So this was the one here. I'll share it here in a sec. Versus PL3, and for people who don't know who Pierre-Luc Leblanc is, I mean, dude was tough as nails. I encourage you to go check out all of his fights and go down the rabbit hole of his fight card because it is tremendous. But I mean, Jimmy Mazza, he really holds his own here. And can we take a moment to appreciate the Trois Rivières logo? That's just tremendous.
I love that logo. You don't like the jersey though, eh?
No, the jersey, it's all right. It looks pretty soccerish to me.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
But for Mazza to hold his own here versus LeBlanc, it's just a feat in its own.
And he PL3 had just nailed someone with a hit, so Mazza's stepping up too, which is like you said, you got to give him credit.
I think I have it on here. We got because he drilled a dude. Yeah, there it is, real quick, real small there, but yeah, he drilled him. But Mazza's a dude I'm curious to see more of him and see how that kind of goes.
I'm the same with you, man. Honestly, he wasn't really on my radar till this season. He didn't play last season, I think, with the COVID. And then the season before, he played in 17 games and he didn't have any fights. So I saw his card. Looks like he had 7 fights before turning pro. So I think he's pretty raw. And he's the guy you might see kind of improve as he goes along and gets a little more experience.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking at one now because I'm trying to remember which one I was trying to think of, because I know there was actually a pretty solid Mazza fight. It was actually this one here. But he fought Ross Olson and did very well. And but yeah, I remember Jack talking about it, and he, you don't want to teach kids exactly how to fight, but once they get to a certain age, you're like, okay, well, let's take you to the side and learn how to defend yourself here. And I believe that's what he did with Jimmy. I could be wrong, because I think me and Jack were both getting after it a little bit during the interview. So, but I mean, he did very solid versus Ross Olson here. You got mocked in the red. And Ross Olson's a tough motherfucker too. There's the I'd like to see more of as well as Ross Olson. I'd love to see what happens with his career.
You were saying that was he on Joe's?
I believe he was.
Podcast?
I believe he was. I could be wrong, but I'm like.
So he must have been an Islanders draft pick, or?
Yes, he's either that or he's with because he's with Worcester, and I think that's the Islanders.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
So
I'll have to check that out.
So the last guy we'll talk about, and I think he's the league leader in PIMS this year, is Michael Robidoux.
He's something. He's a small guy. He's under 200 pounds. Throws lefty. 258 minutes and 42 games, man. 9 fights. So that's my math is right. That's 45 minutes coming from fights. So that's a lot of misconducts and stuff. Super exciting to watch. Obviously super undisciplined. I think he even drives the Kansas City fans crazy sometimes, but every shift, man, he's trying to just crush someone with a hit. So it's really entertaining. I will say with him, I think I mentioned this to you. He does kind of pick his spots a little bit. But again, he's a smaller guy. He does his, he knows his role. He does it really well. Who he really reminds me of, man? You probably remember him. I don't think it's before your time. Do you remember Patrick Coletta?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he very similar to me.
I got you.
That kind of guy.
It's before your time. I'm not that young.
When you started watching.
I was born in 96, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Yeah, or Robidoux, man. You know, I love to see him lead the league in PIMs because I haven't seen a PIM total like that in the ECHL in a minute going through because I don't see it because once the 10 fight rule kind of came in and whatever, which I've seen so many people, and I will say this. I asked a question on my Instagram the other day. Do you think the league should have the 10 fight rule? I said the ECHL and the AHL because I have certain ECHL players that follow the account. So I don't want them to think I'm specifically asking them or like for whatever reason, if somehow somewhere he gets a hold of it where it's like, oh, why are you going against the league or whatever? I will say the majority of them say there shouldn't be a 10 fight rule in the league. It's funny how that works. I don't know how the owners ever agreed to that and, you know, brought it in as a rule, but
I think like you mentioned too, though, if you want to have a cutoff, man, just 10 just seems like that's a pretty stupid low number.
I really think it should be 20.
Yeah, I can not understand it. I'd hate it regardless. There should be no, but 20 makes sense to me.
Right. It's a 72 game season. That's a lot of fucking games. And it's like, and I remember when they brought the rule in beforehand, it wasn't even like it was an epidemic before then. I think only like 6 guys had over 10 fights at the time.
Yeah.
Like, why even bring the rule in if it's not really that big of a deal?
Yeah.
And I love people say, well, it's a developmental league. Okay, well, it's a developmental league for the NHL. Does the NHL have a fight rule? No. So why does the ECHL have?
Yeah.
And I've always said nobody's here to see the next Alexander Ovechkin play in the ECHL. I promise you.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But no, this was a lot of fun, man. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. It was good to chat with you. It's I haven't heard you. I haven't heard your lovely voice since I think Darren's show like forever ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I love listening to the podcast. I'm not a huge podcast guy myself to go on and stuff, but I really enjoyed talking ECHL hockey with you this year. It's just good to have someone to kind of go over fights with and get excited over shit with. So it's been a good time.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and talking some ECHL tough guys with me. And for folks listening, if I didn't include your favoritist, you know, I apologize. It was just kind of
who you forgot though, a big name.
Who did I forget?
Matthew Gagnon, though, eh?
Oh, I did, didn't I? Oh my God, how did I forget Gagnon? I think it's because he flew. He didn't have a lot of fights this year. I think he only had He only had 4 or 5. But it's because who the fuck wants to drop the gloves with Gagnon?
He's tough as shit too, eh?
He is, man. He's fucking tough.
Yeah,
he is. And what was I think last year I posted a fight from last season, and I was like, that had to have been the fight of the year, and it was versus a guy from Allen, toe to toe.
Yeah, Dyson Stevenson. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that was like toe to toe, straight on the pipe, like old time hockey style. Yeah, I can't believe. Fuck, I forgot. Why didn't you tell me this before we got going? You just let me be the fucking asshole at the very end.
Well, it obviously wasn't a list of the toughest guys, so I just thought, you just randomly picked them. I'm like, yeah, we can talk about anyone. So.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. There's a couple I forgot. Like my thing with Alexi is who did he really fight? He fought like a couple guys from the Everblades because I was gonna put Alexi on the list, and I was like, well, he didn't really fight anybody. He had the one versus Nuber that everybody cried about, but other than that, he really didn't have any. He had the couple with Neville and I think Masella, but and then I might have missed a couple guys, but I apologize if folks' favoritist isn't on here, but I think we covered the big heavy hitters from the league.
I think so, yeah. I'm sure there's a bunch we probably left off and stuff. I didn't go through the rosters and stuff. Gagnon was like, oh, that one stood out to me, but yeah. I think you
had to just sandbag me at the end here. No, this is a lot of fun, man. I appreciate it.
We'll have to do it again next season.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely, man. Well, you have a good one, man.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Cheers, bro.
Bye.